Alright pal, it's time for my League 2 predictions for the 22-23 season. Myself, Sean and Wayne, we all practically said that we think that we'll get the top 7, but in this video we'll see what position I actually think we will finish within the top 7 probably, as I've said it in the York video, but we'll go and have a go with the predictions. I'm going to go from the bottom of the league to the top of the league. 24th position, I'm going to go with Harrogate Town. Harrogate have finished 17th and 19th within the 2 seasons that they have been in the Football League. So that's relatively good for the size of a club like Harrogate. But then again, when they've had backing like they have, when they were in the National League, and the money that they spent, it was no surprise that Harrogate were going to come up to League 2, to be honest. Simon Weaver, people saying that he's done a marvellous job, and yeah, he's done okay with money, I suppose. He's done alright. They do always beat us, but I'm quite glad that they beat us last season, because at the end of the day, it got rid of Derek Adams. So, yeah, I do think that they will finish bottom of the league, losing Jack Diamond on loan from Sunderland, he was. So, they brought Joe Mattock in from Cardiff. Good experience, but I don't think it'll be good enough to save Harrogate, to be honest. Really good start to the season last season, and then within the last 20 games that they have, I think they won 3 games. They beat us twice, by the way, within that season. So, and the other team were, I think it was Scunthorpe, but I do think Harrogate were found out last season, and I think that this season, I think that they're probably the worst team in the league for me. If it were down to Harrogate to play Bradford City every week, they'd be in Champions League because they always beat us. But not this season. I don't think it'll happen this season. And if it does, this is going to get clipped by Alex Evans. 23rd position, I'm going for Hartlepool. The second team to be relegated, in my opinion, will be Hartlepool. Losing Luke Molyneux and Timmy Odasuna. They brought in players like Callum Cook, who couldn't get into our team. I know Sean were a big fan of Callum Cook, but I don't think he's going to do anything to help him out. I hope they do get relegated. A bunch of hillbillies up there. Not a fan of Hartlepool after how we were treated up there. But yeah, 23rd for Hartlepool. I just can't see. I think losing Luke Molyneux is absolutely crucial to them. Last season, when he wasn't playing, they lost the majority of the games. And yeah, I don't really want to say much more else about Hartlepool. Not worth my words out of my mouth. The team in 22nd position for me will be Rochdale. Robbie Stockdale in charge. Last season finished 18th. Don't think he's... well, that club's in a mess. It was last season. Don't know what the state is like now. But when you bringing in a goalkeeper like Richard O'Donnell, who can't even catch COVID, then the future doesn't look right bright for that team. I hope they don't go down, because it's a nice little journey. Well, 22nd position is safety anyway, but seeing Rochdale struggle when they've been in League One, and yeah, it's like with your Oldhams and stuff, you don't want to see that. You want to get rid of teams like Harrogate and Hartlepool, to be honest. But yeah, I think that 22nd position for Rochdale, I think that this is going to be a tough league this season. And the teams that are around them, mind you, their home form may be the key instrument to keep them up anyway. Position I've gone with Barrow. Barrow's last 2 seasons in League 2 have been dogfights. And, you know, I do think that they'll stay up again. They got rid of Phil Brown last season, brought in Pete Wild, who was manager of Halifax Town. Did a great job at Halifax in the National League, but I don't think he's going to do anything spectacular with Barrow. They've lost Matty Platt to us. I don't know the ins and outs properly of Barrow, but I can't see him doing anything spectacular. In 20th position, I've gone with Grimsby Town, newly promoted Grimsby Town. First of all, great job Paul Hurst did there last season. I think they finished 6th or 7th in the National League, and the fight that they had to get promoted, beating Notts County away, beating Wrexham in a thriller 5-4. And then beating Solihull in the playoff final at West Ham 2-1. Credit to Grimsby Town, who were a joy to watch in the playoffs. And that's the reason why I think that they've got a great fighting spirit to stay up into the League Two this season. And I hope they do. It's great to see them back. So yeah, 20th position, Grimsby. I don't think there'll be any higher. In 19th position, I've gone with Colchester. I think that they just stayed up last season, more or less, with Ipswich Town has-beens. And I just don't think that they'll finish any higher, to be honest. The fans don't get on with the owner, which can leave a bad feel around the club. The players may not be able to gel with that kind of feel around the club. But I'm going with Colchester in 19th position. In 18th position, I've gone with Sutton United. I think that they're going to have a second season syndrome. I also think that, you know, that with the pressure that was on last season, we're getting into the playoffs, and we went there and beat them 4-1. I think with that type of pressure, and they couldn't deal with that, being a smaller club, smaller size club in this league, I just think that they'll finish a lot lower down. I don't think they'll go down, but I do think that they'll finish in 18th position. In 17th position, I've gone with Stevenage. I think that they had some problems last season with the set pieces. I think Steve Evans will drill that out. They've also got a goalkeeper that's 6'8" in Aaron Chapman. Brought in Michael Boswick. So I think that they'll have a 17th position finish. I think that this league is a lot stronger than what it was last season. So Stevenage for 17th position, I'm going with CREWE Alexandra, who finished 24th in League One last season. The first of the relegated League One clubs that I've put in this prediction list. Poor recruitment from last season were what led them to be relegated. Courtney Baker Richardson they've brought in, and Connor Thomas, but I think that CREWE will want a stable season instead of getting relegated and relegated again, a double relegation. I don't think that they'll challenge for the top 7 at all. So yeah, 16th position for CREWE. Position, I'm going with Carlisle United. Paul Simpson in charge up there. Got them up to a steady league position last season in 20th position. With Amari Patrick, they'll score goals in this league. And I didn't even realise, but Carlisle are like 2.5 million in debt. That's probably why they keep getting league our ex-players in Kelvin Mellor and Amari Patrick, Jordan Gibson. But I do think that, regardless of that, I do think that Carlisle will finish 15th. Steady league position for Carlisle. 14th, I'm going for Walsall. Been taken over by a new owner. Brought in Michael Flynn. But they've lost the top goal scorer in George Miller. I just think that this league has a lot better teams than Walsall at the moment. But I do think that Michael Flynn is a great recruitment for Walsall. And yeah, 14th position may be a controversial one. I'm going with Swindon Town. They've lost the manager Ben Garner to Charlton. Jack Payne has also gone to Charlton. And I know Harry McCurdy scores goals, but who's going to provide him the ball? Swindon play some really good football. They were one of the best footballing sides I saw last season. But I do think that, you know, losing the manager and a key player who was a penalty taker, I think that Swindon will finish 13th. I don't think they'll be in the playoffs. But, as I say, it's a controversial pick, but Swindon 13th. In 12th position, I'm going with the team that got relegated in the last game of the season, Gillingham. Neil Harris only kept 7 of the team that were relegated from last season. That includes Verdane Oliver, who's joined Bradford City. I've seen a lot of vloggers on YouTube that are Gillingham fans, and they're not right confident, so I'll share their confidence with them. 12th position, I'm going with Crawley Town. I know that Sean and Wayne both said that they expect Crawley to be up there, which maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. But I just think that Crawley will finish 11th due to the fact that I know Kevin Betsy is quite inexperienced as a manager at this level. They have brought in Dom Telford, but, you know, with them being taken over by this Wagner United, who were after taking over Bradford City, it's just guess what happens, isn't it? You know, will it all run smoothly or will it run shit? So I'm going to go in the middle, and I'm going to say Crawley Town will finish 11th, which is an improvement on last season because they finished 12th. So, yeah. In 10th position, I'm going with Salford City. As you can guess, Gary Boyer was sacked by them, another manager that was sacked. Mind you, Boyer did play some crap football. He did for Bradford anyway. Didn't get the results for Salford, so they dropped him and brought in Neil Wood, who was, guess, Neil Wood was the Manchester United Academy manager. So he's not had any League Two experience. And the only players, well, I think they've brought in 3 players, but the main one that they brought in was Elliot Watt, who was expected to join in the Championship, a Championship club like Norwich or Blackpool, but he decided to go for the money in Salford. Now, if that's your best signing, you're finishing 10th position. I'm going for AFC Wimbledon, who were relegated last season. But I think that their main focus will be to steady the ship. But I do think that they will have a late push for the playoffs, but I don't think that they'll be good enough to get into the playoffs. Johnny Jackson is their manager. He was with Charlton in League One last season for a little period, and then he's decided to go to Wimbledon because he was sacked at Charlton. But I do think that a 9th position for Wimbledon fans, I think they'll be happy with that. I'm going for Tranmere Rovers, the team who will just miss out on the playoffs. Lost Peter Clark last season, who's a big leader in the club, and Tranmere are always pushing for the playoffs, or either get in the playoffs or out, and I do think that they'll miss out again, just due to the fact that the teams above, I think, have got more strengthened squads. 7th, I'm going for Newport County. Newport are in and out of the playoffs, a bit like Tranmere Rovers, but I do think that they have lost Don Telford, but they play a different tactic. They play 4-2-2-2. So it's a bizarre tactic, but it works, and I think that Newport will be strong with like the players that they do have, like in Zimber and Zanzala. I know that they brought in Aaron Wildig. So I do think that Newport will have a strong season, but I think it'll be 7th for Newport in the playoffs. In 6th position, I'm going for Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient under Kenny Jackett last season had a great start to the season, and then they just dipped. He shut out Connor Wood, who's the left back, and who were with Bradford City. And I don't know why, because he was one of our best players when he was with us, even though he was in the poor squad. And they brought in Richie Wellens when they had the dip in form, and then they ended the season quite strongly. So with that squad and with investment as well, I do think Leyton Orient will finish in the playoffs, and I think they'll finish 6th. 5th position, I'm going for Northampton Town. What a cruel way to end the season it was for Northampton Town, who were 3rd, and on the last day they lost out to Bristol Rovers by a 7-goal swing. So, and then they were in the playoffs and they missed out due to Mansfield beating them over 2 legs. I think that will drag them down a little bit. I think the confidence won't be as high for next season, but I do think bringing in a player like Danny Hilton up front, what a signing that is. I do think Northampton will still be up there and abouts, and I think they'll finish 5th this season. 4th position, I'm going with Bradford, my club. Mark Hughes is in charge of us. Brought in some really good players on paper. We've seen him in pre-season. Richard Smallwood is an absolute brilliant signing for a club in League Two. Former Hull player. Ryan Sparks has done well to bring in a manager with the experience that Mark Hughes has got. And he shipped out all the dickheads from last season, and he's brought in some really good players. As I say, Richard Smallwood's really good for us. Odisuna, the wings, on the wings we're looking dangerous. Every time we went forward against York, we looked like we were going to score, which is brilliant. We've got a goalkeeper in Harry Lewis now, who is looking quite secure. His defence is more tighter with Matty Platt in there. I know we lost Charles Vernham and O'Connor, Powdy, but I think we've replaced these guys with better players. I hope I'm right anyway, but I'm going with Bradford to finish 4th. I think it's a much improved season to last season. And for us to get into the playoffs will be, I think I'd see that as an achievement this season, definitely. If Bradford don't get in the top 7 with Mark Hughes in charge, there's something desperately wrong. Third position going for Doncaster Rovers, who are Bradford's first game of the season in the Yorkshire Derby. I think they'll be the first team in the automatic promotion with Gary McSheffrey in charge. They've brought in George Miller, they've brought in LEYTON, which is a great signing. They made some good transfers, and I believe that they'll get promoted. I think with Doncaster in this league, they're always at the top end when they're in League 2, and I think there'll be no change this time either, so I'm going to go with Doncaster in third. Second position, I'm going for Stockport County, the winners of the National League. It is so good to see Stockport County back into the Football League. Worked hard last season, beat off competition in Wrexham, and I think with the manager David Chandler, he's got a bit of experience in this league now, having worked with Hartlepool last season. And Paddy Madden, he's going to score goals. Ollie Crankshaw from us last season, he wasn't even their main player, but he had a good season. And I think Stockport have got great enthusiasm at the moment. The club's got I think they've sold out all the season tickets for next season, which is great. Sometimes it's a good thing to go into the National League to rebirth yourselves, and Stockport County have done that. They've got quite a good budget, and yeah, I totally think that they're going to get promoted next season. I think they'll finish second in the league. Champions for me will be Mansfield Town. I strongly believe that Nigel Clough will not let them get away with lose the playoff final or any game like they did against Port Vale in the situation that they did. I think that they'll be stronger next season. This season they were strong anyway. From October to May, that they earned the most points out the whole of League 2. And it's when they played Bradford, they were absolutely brilliant at our ground. They were the best team, I thought, all season at home and away. So I believe that Mansfield will win the league and get into League 1 after so many years of asking. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a comment in the comment section and just leave your prediction for the season, and we'll see where we're at. But also, Sean, Wayne and Luke Mason all said that Bradford will finish in the top 7. As I say, put a comment in the comment section if you want me to do another prediction league or anything. It's all for a bit of fun. And if I've upset any of your fans or anything, tough shit. My opinion. Not if you think you're good enough, do it yourself.